If you're at all familiar with Japanese food, you've likely heard of sashimi, thin slices of typically raw seafood, tuna, salmon, that sort of thing. However, that's not the kind of sashimi we're talking about in this video. On our last trip to Japan, we paid a visit to a restaurant in Fukushima Prefecture that specializes in not seafood-based sashimi, but sashimi of the four-legged variety made from raw horse meat. We're at a restaurant in Lyon that specializes in this today, and the owner is serving us omakase-style chef's choice. So when we sit down here, the first thing he presents us with is the atose, and it's a set of essentially appetizers. There's a set charge for sitting down in a restaurant like this, and it includes these. This is a Japanese radish, this is macaroni salad, and this is a konnyaku, which is noodles made of taro. The other thing that we've got to start on the table right here is a little cup of sake with a neat little smiley face in it. The best part about sitting at the counter is while enjoying our appetizers, we can watch the sashimi being prepared. And he's got 6 different cuts of horse, from the best, the fillet, even to the part that's not red, under the mane. Of these 7 kinds, this one's the fillet, this one's the most expensive. I think the mane is the most unique because I've never seen that before, and I also love that there's a couple flowers on it. And by the way, if you're wondering, this is not all for me, this is a portion for 4 people. So I got a little plate to get my meat from the plate of 4, so I'm gonna get a piece of each here. So one more step before we can eat. We've got some sauce that goes in our little dish. And we add some soy sauce to it. And stir it up. And this makes our dipping sauce. Kind of like soy sauce and wasabi for sushi. Okay, we've got our sashimi. We have got the sauce. So we're gonna take a piece of this. Just twirl it around in there. Good. Now, that makes it sound like I didn't think horse sashimi would be good. I wasn't sure what to think of it, but actually there's kind of a sweet taste to it. Here, let me go for the fillet, the most expensive piece. I'm sure the sauce helps quite a bit too, because it is a spicy sauce. It's very tender. You know, raw meat is something that you wouldn't think would be tender, that it would be chewy. I think that's probably what makes good horse sashimi from bad. Let's go for the white one, the main. I'm just gonna dip that lightly because I want to taste it. This one's more chewy. Doesn't have a lot of flavor. Almost has a consistency of like chicken skin or something like that. Like if you were eating chicken skin that wasn't cooked. I think I like the meat better than the main. Now you might be thinking, how does this differ from beef tartare or raw beef? I feel like beef tartare raw beef has a more bloodier and heavy taste, where this actually has a fairly light taste to it. I feel like it's much like eating good sushi or tuna. You don't really feel like it's raw. Like undercooked steak, just something I don't like to eat, but pretty good. Now the other thing you might be asking is, how much does horse sashimi cost compared to fish sashimi? Well, let me tell you, this whole plate for 4 people, 4,000 yen, which is 1,000 yen a person, which is the equivalent of $10 US. Really pretty inexpensive. And speaking of sashimi, it almost tastes like tuna. Like if you were picturing tuna, you could almost think in your head that you were eating some high quality tuna sashimi. One last thing the owner said about horse sashimi that makes it really good for eating compared to, say, like pork that you can't eat raw because pork and pigs have a lot of bacteria in them. Well, horses, because their body temperature is really high, actually all the bacteria is killed when the horse is alive, so horse meat is very clean. So while the horse sashimi is pretty good, it's not a meal by itself. So the next course we're having is karaage, spicy fried chicken, Japanese style. So I got my couple pieces of karaage. It comes with lemon, so you squeeze this on here before you eat it. And let's go ahead and give this spicy Japanese style fried chicken to try. It's tender, it's juicy, and actually not very spicy. The miso sauce that was with the horse sashimi was a lot spicier than this was, but I love how juicy it is. KFC, you should make your chicken a little bit juicier. You can take a page from Japanese style fried chicken. Course number 3, the omakase, is mutton. This is sheep that's older than 1 year. It's supposed to have an intense flavor. And the way we eat this is we take a little bit of the mutton plus a vegetable plus, I just want one vegetable piece. Well, I'll take this. Plus some mayonnaise here on the side. Japanese mayonnaise, which has a taste a lot different than American mayonnaise. It's muttony. I don't know how to describe mutton. So I had to have a couple more bites of the mutton before I could fully describe it. And sometimes people watching my food videos go, Chris, how can you say how it tastes immediately? And I usually can't. Or if I do that, it's because I had a couple bites before I shot the video. So it's juicy, it's tasty, and it is muttony. So it kind of has a little bit of that gamey taste. More gamey than beef. But it's a little reminiscent of a beef bulgogi. With that gamey flavor. Course number 5, agadashi tofu, fried tofu, and we've got course number 6 coming up behind us, yakitori, fried meat on a stick, one of my favorites. So here's the yakitori course. There's 1 beef, there's 4 chicken, this is chicken meat, this is chicken skin, and this is chicken cartilage, but I think I'm gonna start with the skin. I love me some yakitori, can't go wrong. So if your travels bring you to Fukushima Prefecture, definitely check out Lyon because the horse meat will make you healthy and it's really quite tasty and it's from this region, so you should totally eat it. Well, you know, one more thing to know is I've got more videos on Fukushima Prefecture and other things to eat around here too. You can click any of these videos up on the screen. You'll find links in the description below to my entire Fukushima playlist and 100 more on the rest of Japan. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in one of those videos.